Doom Eternal, holy crap, 5 years since that game came out, and it has probably one of the strongest memories I've ever had, ever. Why? Well, I mean, look, pretty sure a week or two, maybe a month after the game came out, we had COVID. I remember walking down there, streets full of people, and then a couple times later, nobody. So, yeah. What did I do during that time? I played a lot of Doom Eternal, and there was a lot to have. Doom Eternal is one of the most fun, imaginative, over-the-top games I've ever played. It is brutal, it is metal as hell, and it's worth your time. Obviously it's worth your time. It's Doom. Honestly, the story, not really sure how long it takes place after Doom 2016, but the idea is demons coming to Earth, hell everywhere, you've got to kill them and stop it. And you do. And then there's like the Khan makers who are in on it, and they're like, no, you can't stop us, we need that energy for this whole little pack stuff, which is lore that comes into it, and it's really good. It's actually really nice, very Warhammer 40k, which I really liked because I'm a big Warhammer 40k fan. So it was very nice that they were able to come in and just evolve everything and say, this is it, this is the story. And then they do that, they add so much lore, so much that, and while it's not exactly the most in-depth story you're going to have, it's simple. Stop the bad guys, kill these evil beings, survive, save the planet, save its people. And then over time, over the story, little things come unlocked, the lore comes out, and you're like, holy shit, this is a massive universe. Plus the fact that this is the original Doom Marine from Doom 1 and 2 and 64, I freaking loved it. They did a really good job at being like, this is this, opening it up, and just giving us more. And that is how you do it. Take note, Star Wars. Instead of creating... it's got a bit of a rant here, but you know how Star Wars went after episode 6, they went from a giant, massive ocean of possibility to a small, it's just the Empire again. Yeah, they didn't do that here. They went, this is how much we got from the old Doom games, and they made it into a goddamn ocean. And that is how you use your imagination to just evolve a story and make it better. Doom Eternal is entirely a rhythm game. You need to make sure that you've got your ammo filtered out, you've got your health, your armor, you've got to make sure that you use your chainsaw to get that ammo, got your health by glory killing everybody, and you have to make sure that you just follow that rhythm of A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, you know? And it works, don't get me wrong, it was fantastic, but there are aspects of it that do come out later on that aren't what I would call the best. And actually, funny enough, that came out more so after I've been playing a lot of Doom Dark Ages, but we'll get to that later on. But even then, the gameplay is solid, it is over the top, it is fun, it makes you feel like a badass, and it's in depth. You do need to think, especially on higher difficulties, you need to think how you're going to tackle people. Tackle these demons, tackle everything, and just survive. And I really do love that. My only issue with it is that it does after a while feel like it is suffocating you when you try different things. For example, getting this footage for this video, I decided to just try it up a bit. So when you see a Cacodemon, right? You see it, your first thought is I have to throw a grenade into its mouth, explode it, glory kill it, right? You do that, fine. However, yes, you can kill it with other weapons, but the problem there is you use up that ammo. And since ammo density is really not the best in this game, even with all the upgrades, you're then wasting ammo on this Cacodemon, and you'll get killed. Yes, you can use other guns to blow them up. Easy done, you can absolutely do that. Everything is all animations, and it's great, it's awesome, it's Volcral, it's just in your face, it's sepulchrally awesome, it's just insane. But the problem is that it is an animation. While yes, there are variations of said animation, it's animation over and over and over and over again, and that does get boring after a while and does get annoying. They are quick and easy, I'll give you that, and they are fun, and depending on what style you're in and what mood you're in, you're going to be fine. But after a while, because you're going to run out of ammo a lot. Oh, wait, hang on, give me a sec, I just got to go find a fodder enemy, kill it, same old animation, bang, 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 oh shit, kill another one. But honestly, after a while, it gets so repetitive that I even started kind of losing interest. If you play this game a lot, unless you've got that mindset of rhythm, order, A, B, after a while you might get bored. Now granted, you can just go play another game and come back to it, and that's what I do. Even though I'm really enjoying Dark Ages and I had to go back to get this footage, I had to really be like, okay, I'm not playing Dark Ages, stop trying to parry. In the grand scheme of things, this game is fun, but it's very much like you need to listen to the rules, and if you deviate from those rules, you will be punished for it. which is fair. And yes, every other game does that to an extent as well, somewhat. This is why when in 2016, I thought 2016 had the better idea, because I didn't have to always be ABAB. I could do whatever I wanted. I could go through the entire game with just one weapon. But hey guys, remember, you control the buttons you press. So I'm kind of like, I control the way I can play, and I really like that how in Doom 2016 did that. And then Doom Eternal was like, no, we're going to make it more like this and this. I feel like if you're ADHD, you're going to absolutely love this. If you're somebody that has order, you're going to love this. And you will. Like I said though, really great game, really great gameplay, phenomenal gameplay, absolutely phenomenal gameplay. I'm not saying it's not, but there is definitely a persistence that makes it feel like as a gamer you're not having the freedom that Doom 2016 had, and even Dark Ages brought back. So I just want to point that out, because when the game works, the gameplay is solidly works. It is like a game of chess. You need to pinpoint what enemy you're going to go for first, remember what weapons you're going to use, and just go for it, you know? And moving everything together, like when everything works, especially when you're on the hardest difficulty and you have all these disgusting creatures ready to kill you and rip your throat out, and you're like, I'm going for you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put the ice bomb there, give me some leeway, shoot there, do this, I'm going to shoot your arms off, and then I'm going to shoot this arm off. It does release this endorphin in your mind that makes you go, holy crap, this is amazing. So when this game is at its peak and it works, and you're just in that vibe, that rhythmic vibe, it is phenomenal, and it just does not let up. And then you've got the music, which is like a chainsaw wrapped to your eardrums. Oh, it is so good. It's very industrial metal with a bit more thrashy stuff, which I like. I'm a big thrash fan. Holy crap, this is some good stuff, and I'm really ticked off that even now, 5 years later, it has not allowed the soundtrack to be released. It really does get annoying, because this soundtrack is one of the most perfect soundtracks. Just everything just has that rhythm, that energy. It's like, it's just, I love my metal, and holy crap, I would play that. I would go to work listening to that and be like, yeah, I've worked out to that. It's just so good. But unfortunately, we haven't got a full real release. I did get the soundtrack when I got the collector's edition back in the day, but they're not all finished, they're not all remixed properly, they're not all mixed 100%, so it's kind of like, okay. But soundtrack is amazing, and Mick Gordon has done terrific work. Holy crap, 10 out of 10 for that. However, let's go to level design. Level design in Doom Eternal is great. It is just lacking in some areas while working around for the most part. So what I mean by that is, you get secrets, right? And the secrets are great. But the levels at times are a bit open, but they're also very small, which makes sense because they want to make you really go like, oh crap, what do I do? There's a lot of hallways in this game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but, you know, they had the hallways so they can fill it up with monsters that are going to rip your throat out, which is fine. But for every time they have a more open level, or at least one that's like maze-like, or, you know, multiple routes, they have a lot more linear ones as well. And then you've got things like secrets, which are great. You want to use these secrets, and highly recommend when you start this game, or if you haven't, go to your settings in the menu and turn off objectives. Turn them off. Just turn off the objectives. Even turn off most of the HUD except for health and ammo. Do that, because the game is so fast-paced, you're not really going to keep up with everything else. And you will want to make sure you've got it's clutter-free, because the game works so much better. And I say this for Doom 2016 and Doom Dark Ages. It works so much better because you've got to then use your map more often, look for those secrets, especially on higher difficulties. Always play on Ultra Violence, because that really, really extends the game and really makes it work so well, because you've got to use everything. You've got to go look for those secrets that have mega health or armor or what have you, ammo. You then have to use everything. And then it all comes together and really adds on top of that really strong bubble of the game. The secrets are quite easy. Some secrets, if you can call them that, are, here's a room. You walk into a room, you turn left. There's a secret there. There's nothing, it's just a secret. Oh, okay. Or you go forward and it's like, there's a destructible wall. Okay, break the wall and it goes to a secret. Alright, cool. There's easy secrets. And then there's the ones where it's like, okay, you gotta go up here, jump down here, go down here, do. Like, in the secrets, there are really good secrets. But unfortunately, for the most part, when it comes to the secrets, it's very much like it's behind that wall. It's that simple. Still good, like, don't get me wrong, still better secrets than 90% of the games out there, but compared to 2016 it was lacking. There was one in one of the levels where it was very similar to Doom 16, where you go into a room and you click a button and it opens up a door and you gotta go back and find it. However, going back and finding it was literally just going down the hallway to the big giant door that was right there. You know, you couldn't miss the door and you're like, oh, I just gotta go down the hallway. Okay, right. And then when it comes to like specific ones, like the only really good secrets I think in the game, and probably the best level, is the Ultra Gore Nest. The reason for that is you got the key cards, right? And with the key cards there are special areas that you can go through. So when you got the key card, you can either go open up the main objective or come back through the map, open up these doors, get these secrets, get these keys, get the collectible, and it was really good, and it really dwelt back to old school Doom and Doom 2016, and just all of that really helped encourage exploration. And I think that's what the level design kind of fails a little bit where it comes to exploration, because I would argue maybe for some people, since you can get your armor back, health back and such by just the gameplay mechanics alone, they probably thought, oh, we don't really want to really make you explore much, which is a bit strange, but hey, at least that's what I'm seeing. I mean, when I come back to it though, especially on harder difficulties, it doesn't matter how much armor health you have, you want to make sure you've got more, because if you haven't got 100% armor, health, and ammo, you're probably going to die in the next attack. I'm just saying, like, you do want to find those areas and find those secrets and just make sure that you're on top of your game, because you're going to need it. Which is why another thing I would say is that if you're going to play this game, play on Ultra Violence or Nightmare. I finished the game on both of those difficulties, and trust me, it is fantastic. You'll die a lot, you will get annoyed, but it'll be oh so worth it. Now let's talk about guns. Now I swear, these guns in these games, these guys must have been shooting up some fantastic death, thrash, power metal, heavy metal, I don't know. They must have been really going at it, because this is metal incarnate with these guns. Like, the first game had a more sci-fi, you know, military aspect to it. This one's just like, here's an Arbalest that has demon energy, and it has like saw blades that shoot out and cut people in half, and you can explode them with the normal point gun. You know, like, oh hey, here you go, blow them all up, cut them all in half. You have a giant sword that you can slash them with. It's just okay. You've got a shotgun that has like a machine gun barrel that when you fully upgrade it, you can just like fully blown shoot them up and make their entire bodies and gore just explode. You've got a minigun that has 4 barrels. Like, come on, that is just metal as fuck, man. That is insane. This entire game's arsenal is just heavy metal times 10, and it is amazing. And by the way, the Super Gore Nest, I'd just like to point out, the main Super Gore Nest aspect looks very similar to Sepultura's Arise cover. I'm just saying. First of all, listen to that. Hopefully, I reckon it probably most likely did inspire some of the soundtrack, but also it's really good to play in general. And when you're playing Doom Eternal, if you play that in the background, if you've heard the main music too many times, it's really good too, just pointing that out. But yeah, this entire game is inspired by heavy metal, inspired by the gutturalness of it all, and it just works. 10 out of 10. And then you've got guns like the Super Shotgun, which... anybody who thought about putting a Mortal Kombat Scorpion Spear on it that you can shoot at enemies and dodge right up to them, which you can then use to saw them in half or just point blank blow their brains out, 10 out of 10. And then the person who said let's add on the ability to put them on fire and gain armor back, another 10 out of 10. You've just created one of the best shotguns ever made in gaming, and it drips with energy, it drips with it just drips with metal, it drips with just power and fear and anger, and it's just it is so soothing to kill things in this game with that goddamn shotgun. 10 out of 10 right there. So yeah, the guns, so good, just sorry about that. Got a bit carried away there. You know how I like my shotguns. The Doom Eternal has a shotgun. You're going to have fun with this game? Oh gods, yes. You will have the most fun with this game. This game is phenomenal. If you can get around the shortcomings of it being a rhythmic game. with, well, yes, you have freedom, the freedom isn't as much as it was in Doom 2016 and other shooter games. So it all depends, but in the end, you are going to have a fun time, heavy metal, glorious gore. You're going to have a fun universe with a lot of lore, linear to somewhat open levels, multiple designs. There's so many collectibles. You're going to have so much fun. You get to run around on your watchtower, your Justice League watchtower, and unlock stuff and just take in the aesthetics and just everything about it. It is solid, it is cartoony, it is over the top, and is worth your time. So, yeah, Doom Eternal is fantastic. And then you've got all the add-ons that they actually gave you. So you've got master levels, which if you remember playing the old master levels back in the old days, it was basically levels that were extremely, extremely hard. The same here. Oh, I'll do the master level of Super Gore Nest. Get on in. Oh, great, there is a tyrant / cyber demon there kicking my ass. Yes, that's what they do. And then you're in a very shallow area and you're like, oh crap, what do? You go past it, and then there's about 5 mancubi. Every master level is basically a normal level remade with all the big bad enemies coming at you from the get-go. It is glorious, it is fun, it is over the top, and you can choose old school way of play, where you just start off with a shotgun, and then you got to go through the levels and find your upgrades and stuff and all the other weapons. Good stuff right there. They actually really did a really good job here. But yeah, you got the master levels, you got the horde mode, which again is fantastic. It is over the top crazy, and every now and then you get like a speed moment where you got to like jump around and do this and that and this, and then you got to jump down, and it's just cool. You get those points, you get those unlocks, and this game full of unlocks, and I freaking love that. There is so many skins for your Slayer, it's insane. There are weapon skins, which not as much, or at least I haven't unlocked that much, which maybe a thing, I don't know. But yeah, but the Slayer skins are great. You get the skins, like I said, with the demons. Good stuff, really. Kind of good stuff. And then you've got the Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2, which are... Funny enough, the Ancient Gods 1 and 2 have like 1 or 2 levels that have master levels, which is great. But every level in those expansions, Part 1 and Part 2, is basically a next level master level. Like, that's how crazy they are. It is insane. They really chug you up. You're going to have a hard time, even on the easiest difficulty. Gotcha, bitch! You're going to have a hard time. It's insane. It's great. It's fun. And when I finished it, I was like, holy crap, I accomplished that. That was cool. And it was a kind of fun story. Not bad. Okay boss fights. Good levels too. Good level design. I thought that was really good. Great stuff they brought into the game that they kind of swirled back around for the prequel that we'll talk about soon. So that was all cool. I enjoyed that. But damn, is it hard. It is hard as shit. Now, another thing with the gameplay and level design is that there's so many moments that feel so out of place. Because, okay, Doom Eternal is cartoony, which on one end is different, fun, exotic, vibrant, whatever. Completely different from a lot of other games. Granted, the vibe from Doom 2016 to this, some people hate it. But yeah, okay, cool, we'll go with that. It is cartoon in a way, and that does give it a bit of a soul and its own identity. The problem is it goes next level cartoony. The cartoony aspects of the level design is when it's like, oh, you've got jumping. Okay, you get to jump on a few things, cool. You kind of had that in 2016, but then it's moving. Okay, cool. And then there are fireballs. And then there are circling discs, like something you have out of a bloody Super Mario Brothers. Or there'll be a pole there, you jump on the pole, you swing over to another area, then you double dash, and then you gotta land, but then you gotta do it, you got 1 second, you gotta do it again, and then you gotta go through a power-up that then lets you do it even more for longer distances. And then in the DLC they started adding up the ability to use the shotguns, secondary fire, and then you gotta swing around. Like, it's definitely, it's fun, but I think I would argue it's not exactly Doom. But it's fun, I get it, it's vertical, I like the verticalness of it all. And that's another great thing the level design does, it's very vertical, so you're always looking up and down, left and right, you know, you're looking everywhere. So you're always on your toes, which is great, but the more cartoony aspects of it, I think has been quite divisive and still is to this day. I'm okay with it, I can get used to it, but sometimes I just want to kill demons, man. I don't want to have to double jump, triple jump, get a power up to even more jumps, you know. I like racking my brain over things, but sometimes a man just wants to kill things. Just saying. So yeah, that is Doom Eternal. A solid, fantastic FPS with problems. Yes, there is problems there, but it depends on what those problems are to you. If you like rhythm games, if you like games where there is a structure that you need to follow, you are going to love this game forever. And I do love this game. I absolutely do. But there are aspects of it that I think could have been better. But I still love it. Like, in the end, I can deal with its problems because I don't care. I'm going to sit back, I'm going to play it, I'm going to enjoy it. And I still, to this day, 5 years later, play it. Actually, to be fair, the 5, 10 years, whatever, of this Doom trilogy, I still play to this day, so who knows. Now, solid game, love it, cool. Recently we had Doom the Dark Ages come out, which again is a fantastic game, and I'm going to do a video like this. Problem is, at this point in time, the game isn't technically finished. What do I mean by that? Well, I've just done a video on Doom Eternal, and Doom Eternal had, well, we had master levels at launch. We only had 2. They added more master levels through DLC later on. All of these costumes you see and skins were added later on as well from free DLCs. And then we've got things like Horde mode, again, added in later on. We have things like the Part 1, Part 2 of Ancient Gods, which, as you can tell, you know where I'm going with this. I've just looked at this game as a full, complete game. I want to look at Doom the Dark Ages when it's finished, when all the DLC's out. Now, I don't know what we're going to get if we get any free DLCs. I'm hoping for master levels are just solely fun, especially with the old school of you've got to start with a gun and you've got to go and find it. I think in the maps in Doom Dark Ages are so well made that I think, yeah, that could work really well. Or we might just get the Doom Dark Ages campaign DLC. I don't know. Whatever we get, whatever they add, from skins to whatever, if that's what they're going to do, maybe in a year or two, depending on how long it takes for them to update the game, I will come in and do a full video. But I can talk about the game now. I can talk about what I like about it. I love the parrying system. I love how it feels like I don't have to follow that rhythm like Doom Eternal, which again, I like, but I feel like I've got more control. I've got more control over what I can do in this game. And I love that. I like how everything's kind of more, not necessarily streamlined, but more accessible. So you've only got 6 weapons, right? But you can quick swap them to another weapon that does different things. Kind of like how you could quick swap to with Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, the modifications you had for your guns, right? Which is cool, but these are a whole new set of guns with whole new ways to play, and I really, really, really like that. I think they did a really good job here. I love how it looks. I love the medieval, the Vikingness, the sepulchral look, the exotic castles. I like how everything looks and feels and how gritty it is. I love all that. I love the over-the-topness. I get to kill the titans. I get to fight in the mechs, which is fun. I'd also like to point out that they're not really a big problem because there's only 3 levels of the mechs. And the last level, which is a bit more open, which I actually enjoyed. I kind of wish all the levels were like that. But the last level opens up with one of the best boss fights in all of Doom. Yeah, it's that good. And then it goes into another great boss fight for near the end of the game. So I just want to point that out, that they are really good. And you got the dragon flying, which is metal as hell, but also really fun because, well, yes, I understand that the dragon flying isn't the best. Because when you do lock on, when you do the fighting, unfortunately, it's very much like you've got to strafe left to right and you're stuck in that vision, which is kind of annoying. And then you got to dodge and shoot it. And I'm like, that would have been an easy fix. Just don't... Because during the normal game, you can lock on normally and fly around normal. They really just had to do that, add the ability to dodge normally with the dragon instead of being locked on. And then if you've played Nier Automata and all that, how they have the gun, I guess the gun porn or the ammo porn or, you know, bullet, like the bullet porn, where it's like... They should just add that to the enemies so you had to really dodge and have that really crazy Contra level of, oh crap, you gotta dodge, dodge, shoot, shoot, shoot. If they did that, I think the dragon levels would have been better received. But the good part about them is, it's still fun. There's some great level designs in them. And holy crap, they did the best thing possible where you get a dragon, every dragon level. It are mostly big and open, but you can also, aspects of it, you will be in a on the foot, boots on the ground situation. So you'll have parts of that level on the ground, killing demons, and you go back in the sky for a bit and you come back down. Those levels really do cooperate a lot with the design. I think it's really, really well done. I like the story too. I feel like the story is It's simple, and I do recommend going back through the story once you've played it again. Play through the game story once, come back and play through it again, because you'll have a better context to everything. And I'm noticing things still. I'm going through and I'm like, didn't really notice that close-up of Thera when she's talking about the Doomslayer, or, you know, the Doomslayer's body language over certain scenes, or how he acts. Like, oh, you just did this after this was mentioned and stuff. Like, there's a lot of context there that you might not see first time around. You might, but definitely come back and play the story again. There is a lot there. And funny enough, Doom the Dark Ages feels like the most Doom game since Doom 1, 2, and 64. What do I mean by that? The open levels are perfect. And this is why I say, if you're going to play Doom Dark Ages, just like Eternal in 2016, turn off your objective markers. Put on always sprint, because this game, Doom Dark Ages, is faster and can be the game that we love. Is a big positive in my mind. And people are like, oh, but it's not what the developers intended. Oh, get effed, you smeghead. No, because the developers have given us the opportunity to, again, turn them off, make these changes. They're basically like, this is the game we got, but hey, you've got all this maneuverability. You can make the game how you want it. Always have sprint on. Always turn off the side ones, because when you run in the game, there's like little sidelines that like show that you're running fast. You can turn those off. Turn that off. Turn the objective markers off. And I think making the HUD the smallest it can be is worth it, because again, just like Eternal, everything's going crazy. But if you get a handle of the gameplay, you don't really have to worry about any of that. Oh, and if you're a big fan of Doom, original Dooms, with the little helmet in the middle, the Doom guy's face in the middle, changes the original. I did. Loved it. 10 out of 10. One of the best things I love about Doom the Dark Ages is the customization of it. So, I went to Ultra Nightmare, right? And I'm looking at them, and there's all these sliders. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make this a bit harder. I put the ferocity of the demons all the way up. I put my parry all the way down to 1. I put my, every time I get a kill and how much I get back, I put it like 2. There's like 5 stops, and I put on the second stop. You can make it that you can do more damage to demons, making it the easiest. You could be the godly being you want to be. You can make it easy as anything. You can kill everything in 1 or 2 hits. That's fine if you want to do it. Or, on the flip side, you can make it that they do the most damage and you do less damage to them, which means you've got to just work on the combo systems that they have, which is great. Use that shield, parry, keep moving around, running around, circle strafing. Oh, when everything comes together, it's a cacophony of just pure adrenaline, pure heavy metal, pure Doom. And here's the thing, for me, this trilogy of Doom, it reminds me of Time Splitters. You had the first Time Splitters, which was solid, fantastic. Some people are like, that's how it should be. Great game. And then you had the sequel, which everyone's like, this is the best one. 100%. Time Splitters 2 is the best one, and it is fantastic. And then you had Time Splitters 3, where everyone's just like, this is great. You had this overall story, had great level design, had great architecture, had a lot of fun, good stuff. People still go and say, hey, the second one's the best, but we all know the third one's the best. And yeah, for me, if I was to say, is Doom Eternal worse or better than Dark Ages, I say Dark Ages gives me a more nostalgic feeling of what Doom is. I think it gives me more freedom. I think it has better secrets. There were times where I was running around for like an hour looking for everything to upgrade and become better. And again, on multiple playthroughs, you can come back to it and you get mega healths, going through secrets to get mega healths and armors and stuff. It just works. You can find new weapons, new everything. You've even got customization and stuff like that. In the end, I would say Doom Dark Ages is better for me when compared to Doom Eternal. But Doom Eternal is still pretty damn good as well, but I also can't make a exact opinion on it though, because in the end, Doom Eternal, when it first came out, people were actually complaining about it because they wanted Doom 2016 2. And I think the same's going for this. People just wanted Doom Eternal 2, but we got Doom Dark Ages. So in the end, I think that when we look back at the Doom games, it's going to be very hard to say what's the best, because each game is different, and the perfect part about that is that we get to enjoy a different Doom game each time. When I just want old school fun, I go Doom 2016. If I want a rhythmatic game that is over top crazy and cartoony, Doom Eternal. And if I want something dark, decrepit with fantastic gameplay, ultra fast, great power fantasy, great imagination, over the topness, I'm going to go Dark Ages. So yeah, in the end, Doom Eternal, must have. Quick little review on Doom Dark Ages, again, a must have. worth the money, long game. I've 100%ed it multiple times, and it's so worth it. Because this Doom entire trilogy is just phenomenal. And it's always worth your time. So sit back, kill some demons, and rock and roll. Because I'm Aussie Viking, I shall see you in Valhalla. Bye.